Okay, so I'm here now with Dee Greene. Dean runs a school community called Undeterred Entrepreneurs. We're going to speak to Dee because Dee has had his community for a little while now, and we seem to be on the same page regarding how we manage our communities, how we build our communities. And I've been trying to get Dee on this podcast for quite a while, and I've managed to nail him down, which is great. And I just want to hear a little bit more about what Dee has to offer, how he actually manages his community, and how he actually communicates with his members as well. So, Dee, thank you so much for joining us today. Maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. Dee Greene is my name. I'm from the U.S., Indiana originally. And now I'm actually in Hungary. I'm in Budapest, Hungary. I think I've lived in maybe 9 different countries. So been an entrepreneur since 2017, maybe 2016 or so. And then started traveling in 2021. And started this community in April of this year, 2025.
Yeah, mate, you've seen amazing growth at the moment. I mean, I must admit, there aren't many school community owners I've seen that can actually grow their community the way that you've grown yours. I'm absolutely amazed how you did it. So we will get into that, but I just want to get into your background first, actually. So how did you actually come across school in the first place? Obviously,
I don't really remember that. Like, I joined a few years ago. So, like, 2016, 2017, like, I was in Sam Ovens', help me if you know what I'm talking, consulting, I forget what it's called, consulting thing. So I knew about him, and then I was in, like, obviously, like, in the online world, and people talked about school. But when I had first tried it, they didn't have like a mobile app, and there's like a lot of features that they have now that were missing. So I was like, man, I'm just going to use Skool. Or sorry, so I was just going to use Circle. So I've been using Circle since 2020-ish. So I think it was last year. No, this year. Wow, it was this year. Earlier this year. I was trying to start a new community, but I didn't really know how to like make money with the community or grow a community or anything. So it wasn't really doing all that well. And I think I was paying like $300 a month for a Circle, and I missed the payment. And I was like, dang, like, because I missed the payment, now I can't even like make money because it's down. So even if someone wanted to join and pay, they can't pay because there's nothing. And I need something that would just get some people in, and then I can sell them another thing. So then the only options I could think of that I liked were Facebook groups and then Skool. So I was like, I don't know, let me just give Skool a try. I'll give it like 1 or 2 weeks and see what happens after that. And it really was just, I really wasn't even planning on using it long term. I was like, maybe I'll just cancel it after the week or two, but I'll just get people in and maybe sell them on something else. Sure. And after the first 1 or 2 weeks, we had over 100 people. So I was like, oh, let me just see I'll just keep doing this and see what happens.
Excellent. So can I ask how you came up with the idea then? Because obviously you've been an entrepreneur previously. Did you go through many iterations to get where you are now, or did it always start off that you were just basically speaking to entrepreneurs?
Oh man, that's a crazy question. So like 2019, I think, I told my wife like, oh man, I want to come up with like an idea for a clothing line. And we went out to eat, and then we had like a little notepad trying to come up with names. And I came across the name Undeterred. I was like, oh, I like that because I feel like that really represents what I had to do to get here, which it means to persevere despite setbacks. So like no matter what happens, like you just keep going. So I started this as like a clothing line, and I was making like okay money. And then people were asking me like, yo, how are you making money? Like with the clothing line, how are you doing online, all that stuff. So I realized I like helping other people achieve like their dreams and their goals rather than just like me being the only one doing it. So that's how I got more into like coaching and stuff. And then I stopped doing the clothing line, but I never changed the name of my business. I just changed like what it was. So then fast forward to like I was helping pastors with like social media. I was helping entrepreneurs with like all these different types of things. 2023 or something like this, I was on like a live summit, and the lady was like, I feel like you have like way more potential. Like you're only talking about social media, but I feel like there's so much more you could do. And I just felt like, yeah, I feel like God is kind of calling me to that, but I didn't know what that looked like. So then I was like, well, I still have this name Undeterred. I should try to do something with it. Mm-hmm. And so from like 20, like that's where I was at, like the Circle. I was like trying to figure out, I couldn't really figure out like how to really word it. I think the thing that I realized with Skool that I didn't know back then was like, I feel like the way I do business is kind of like dating, right? Like if you just go to someone and you tell them this is why I would make a good husband, it's like kind of weird, right? Like unless you really can know how to say that perfectly, it's just going to come across as weird. But if you can get to meet people, they're just going to say, I like your vibe. They can't really explain it. And then like, oh, I'm in love with this person. Oh, like it makes sense to marry them. Like, and even logically, some of the stuff we do relationship wise doesn't make sense, but you're just like, I love this person. So like, I'm going to do this. So I felt like that's how it was like for business. Like, man, if I could just get people to see the vibe of what we do, they would want to do more with us. But the issue was, I think everyone I was listening to was like, you have to charge in the beginning. Or if they had a free community, it wasn't a community. It was just a place to sell people the next thing. And so once I learned about Skool, I was like, oh, I think this is a place that I can like do business the way that I really want to do it. And so like once I realized that, then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like not be on anywhere else, and I'm just gonna only focus on this and try to figure out like what the heck I'm doing here.
Absolutely. So take us back to April then, because you kind of hinted that you got 100 members in a few weeks, and obviously that my ears perked up when I heard that. So just
Yeah.
take us back to the time when you started, because obviously the $9 tier wasn't around when you first started. It was $99
Yeah, exactly.
from the get go. Take us back to then, and did you say you grew it over 2 weeks, 100 members or something? Did I hear that right? Or
Yeah, for sure. It's like I know, like I'm pretty sure before our free trial was up, because I was like, I'm gonna have to maybe not even be able to pay for this free trial. I don't know.
Sure.
But before the free trial was up, I remember I'm pretty sure we were at over 100 members. Your question was like, how did that happen?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm interested. I think the people watching will be interested as well.
Yeah, I was like, my mindset on Skool has kind of been like, what are other people doing, and maybe let's not do that. I'm kind of more. I kind of started saying like, okay, everyone pretty much is listening to Alex Hormozy, and everything is kind of sounding the same.
Right.
And the people that I like are Kanye West, Louis Vuitton, Lacoste, all these different types of things, and they are kind of like, let me just think about what I want to do. Yeah, of course you're applying that. You're still going to record in a studio with a microphone, but it's like, let me push the boundaries a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was like, a lot of these Skool communities are trying to be like they're trying to be, it's based like an offer. Like I made a community to help people grow their Skool community to this amount by this date, blah, blah. And I was like, man, like if you can actually come up with that and you can be good at it, maybe that works. The issue is like it's very hard for people in the beginning to do that because you don't know, you just started it, so you can't usually know exactly how you want to say it. So then it's hard to get people in. So I was like, what if I just make it about community? Like I'm just going to say I created a community for entrepreneurs. That's it. And then I'll just go ask entrepreneurs and say, the thing I was running into before was when it was paid, people were thinking about, one, do I need this? And then two, are you the person that I want to get the help from?
Sure.
And I was like, I know so many cool people that if they could just get into there, then they can see the vibe. And maybe they want to buy it today. Maybe they want to buy in 6 months. But I think I just need to get them in there. So it's like, what if I just made it about entrepreneurs? And then I just messaged all the entrepreneurs that I personally knew or that knew me and just said, hey, I created a free community for entrepreneurs. Do you want to join? If they say yeah, send them the link. If they say no, okay, do you know anyone else that I should invite? And that, right? And then I did the same thing on Instagram. I did the same thing on like texting. I did the same thing on WhatsApp. I sent an email. I basically was like, hey, I created a free community for these people. This is what we plan on doing in there. I didn't explain all that though, because you have an about page. So I just said like, this is who it's for. If they ask questions, then I just sent them the about page because I feel like I think a lot of people send these long texts and it comes across as like spam, like you just copy and pasted it. So I was like, yo, John, I created this free community for entrepreneurs. I'd love to have you in. What do you think? Oh, yeah, what is it? And I send the link. Oh, no, I'm good, bro. Okay, cool. Do you know anyone else? That got us to like 50 or something like this. I think maybe a little bit more. And then I was like, okay, I need to do two things now. One, I need to make sure like once they're in there, it's good. That way they stay and refer other people. And then two, I need to figure out like where entrepreneurs are hanging out that I can not just talk at them, but talk with them. Again, I was just like community. If I don't think about getting leads, but I think about making relationships, then the people are like, I like your vibe. I'm just going to join to see what it's like. So I was like, okay, if I just show up on Skool every day, eventually people are going to start to know me and that's going to turn into something, I think. And that's what I just tried. And then that's basically all I did in the first like month.
And also as well, I mean, I've started doing this a lot more now, and I noticed that you did this back in the day, Dee, is the video, putting videos in your posts, for example. Now, even now, today, where we sit here recording this, people still aren't doing that.
Nah.
So do you actually think that gave you a little bit of an edge because you were just doing things slightly different to everyone? And I think most of the time it's people are scared to do video
Yeah.
or they're scared of saying the wrong thing, so the post doesn't actually get shown. But you've done this for a while, haven't you?
I just thought like I don't know. Like my thing was like I think it's about like an energy, the vibe.
Mm,
And I'm like, I don't want to read long posts. Everyone back then was doing these long expert posts. Hey man, I've been doing podcasting for 9 years, and then this is how I've been getting my guests, and you should do this. You know what I mean? Like everything was like
yeah,
that.
totally.
A lot of stuff that I've been doing on school is, and a lot of things I've been doing in life recently is like asking what if. So not assuming that I know, just and I think sometimes being super crazy. Like, yo, what if I came on this podcast with like a Teletubby outfit? You know what I mean? Like what? Like and being okay of like, bro, why that'd be stupid. But then like, why though? And then just thinking those ideas. So I was like, what if I just posted a video with a title and no description?
Yeah.
Would people watch it? That was my idea. Like, would people watch it? Because you have to actually click on the video, you got to watch it. Would they comment, or would it just be a dead post? And then the first time I tried it, I think it had like over 100 comments. So I was like,
Wow.
what if I did it again?
Yeah, yeah,
you
absolutely.
know,
Well,
so
why not? Yeah.
once that started working, I was like, okay. And then I noticed what you said. I'm like, no one else is even for some reason doing this. Like no, like almost no one. Like not even Sam, not Alex, or like literally no one. The only thing people do that's close is they'll post a YouTube video.
Yes.
But I was like, I wanted to come across as like I made this specifically for you guys, and I'm not, and I didn't want any of my posts to get deleted for self promo. So I was like, this is literally for you guys. I'm not. You can't see my channel. You can't see. I'm not talking about my anything. Now, I think an edge or an advantage that I have is I do have merch, and so it's like I realized like okay, if I'm wearing it, you don't know it. Like they don't know if it's another brand. Or like I know like Sam and them know by now, but like people don't know. But then subconsciously, if they see it again, their brain is like, oh, I saw him wearing that hat and the thing. But I was like, they're probably not going to tell me, bro. You can't wear your hat. But if they
Yeah.
did, I would just buy a school hat, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought like, what if I did it? What would people think? And people are like, yo, I really like these videos. And then people were joining the community from those because they're like, that helped me a lot. And you aren't asking for like anything. So I think it was just like a chill way.
Love that. And also, they're a bit more real as well. I mean, obviously, a lot of the videos I do here in my home office, but a lot of yours are kind of just handheld. You're on the street
Yeah.
walking, kind of Gary Vaynerchuk style. You know, like is that was that just by accident, or is that something that you actually wanted to do
Well,
from day
yeah.
one?
I think I was the right word would be aspired to do
Yeah.
probably. I saw like I was just into like I'm gonna be a rapper or be in the NBA. And then when I was in college, I came across Ty Lopez, and that's
Okay.
like how almost all his videos are. You know, just walking around. And I was like, "Yo, this is dope," because it's like it feels like you like it's more personal. I'm like, bro, he's
Yeah.
just walking
Yeah.
around in his house. He's
Absolutely.
walking. I feel like I'm here with him, but then I'm
Yeah.
learning something, and I loved it. So then I just in the beginning I was like mad nervous because I was just like I would do them by myself, like not letting family or anyone see them. And then sometimes you're out and about and you get an idea, and I'm like, dang. So then sometimes I would go to the car or I would like record, but if people walk by, I would stop it. And then I just kind of got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep going, whatever. And so it had been years of I was making those videos before I got on school. Like I got my YouTube channel to like 7K subs or something like this. So like I was doing these types of videos before, and then I was like, okay, people normally like them, and the school already has the traffic. Like I started thinking like, why are we doing what we're doing? Like, am I going on YouTube because it feels good to get a lot of views, or am I getting on YouTube because I want to get traffic to my community?
Mhm.
If it's just about getting people to my community, why not do the lowest hanging fruit, which is just post it in school? You know what I mean? Like they already have the community, they already have the traffic. I don't have to start from scratch. I can test a lot of stuff. and then those people can just click on my thing and go right directly to my school. So it was just kind of like a let me test this type of thing, I guess, basically.
Have you put it down to how far your community has come from April, for example? So do you put that, the way your style is very, very unique. You're being real, you're being yourself, you're being authentic. Do you think that's the reason why your community has grown so quickly? Because obviously it's not the norm, what you've done, which is
Yeah.
amazing. Is that what you put it down to?
A lot of people message about that. So I just try to double down on the stuff people mention. Like I do a lot of, if people are in my community, like I ask a ton of questions and I send surveys. Like I don't care. I'm not worried about like looking stupid. I'm like, what do you mean by like what do you mean by this? Or what do you mean? I try not to get offended either. Like, what do you mean by this? Or how can I make it better? I noticed a lot of people are saying like, I really just like how genuine and like authentic that it is. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? It's like, oh, well, and I joined other communities. Like the person's trying to sell you something right away, or like there's not a lot of engagement. In schoolers, people are trying to sell. So I was just like, I started thinking like in schoolers, like this isn't, I think someone told me this. They're like, we forget that this is Sam Oven's community. We think of it as like a feed, like an Instagram feed or something, or we're just posting, but they're like, this is Sam Oven's community, and we're not. A lot of people don't treat it like that. They're just like, this is school. I'm just putting my stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I started thinking like, what would be helpful for school? Like they want people to make money with school. So if I can just go on there and give people value on how to get better with school, and I'm not pitching anything that I do, that's going to help. They're going to love that. People are going to love that. And like, if you build up the reputation, like people are eventually going to check out your stuff. I think people like we underestimate that. I think it's like, oh, I have to get these people to join now. It's like, I was like, I don't really need to do that. Like, I just need to show up. They can like, I don't even like, people are like, oh, we have a 10 DM member, like, or 10 DM limit a week or something like this. I'm like, I never hit that because I never really worried about that. I was just like, if you see me like adding value, like week after week after week, eventually you're going to probably check it out. So yeah, I think a lot of it has just, I think a lot of it has, a lot of the growth does have to do with just like being authentic, like with people. Cause that's, I mean, it's a community. That's what it's about.
Appreciate that. So your community is a free community, and I'm assuming it's going to remain a free community. Did you purposely do that so you can actually just get as many people into the community to see what you have to offer? Obviously, Skool was just started with tiers now. They've come out with tiers. Is that the way you're going to actually run it, as a free community? And then if anybody
Yeah.
wants more of you or more of your expertise, then they can pay for it? Is that how it's going to work with you?
Yeah. I told, like I said, I like to compare a lot of what we do to dating. And I felt like, bro, if you are not good at going on dates and you message a girl that you want to go on a date with, and you're like, yo, come, but you have to pay, you got to pay your own way. Bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're setting an unnecessary, I feel like, bottleneck.
Good.
And you could be like, I'm taking you to the best restaurant. It's worth it. All I'm asking you to do is pay for your drinks.
Yeah.
But like, they don't know that though. So they're thinking about like, ah, but I got to pay this. I don't need that right now. I don't need to go to this. And I was just like, I want to be the person that's like, let me just take you and show you what it looks like.
Yeah.
And then from there, then we can build upon that. And I knew like, I was like, man, I know like, I don't want people, there's two things. One, I didn't want people to be like, oh, I don't need this right now. But the main reason was I've lived in like Mexico, Colombia, Albania, Morocco, and like Hungary, like these places where they don't make a lot of money. And I was like, these people, especially if you don't even speak English as a primary language, they don't know who Alex Hormozy is or Russell Brunson or Ty Lopez or GaryVee because they didn't grow up speaking English. So now they're limited to people that speak in, like, you're going to find that the Albanian Alex Hormozy probably doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So, but I'm like, a lot of these people, when I get to know them, they have amazing ideas. Like, they're great people. And I don't want someone to be like, I don't have anyone to support me or talk to because I don't have $5 a month or I don't have 10. I was like, I think if we just support people all around the world, it might take 6 months, it might take a year, it might take 2 years, whatever. But I think that's going to pay off because some of these people are never going to be able to pay us. That's fine. But there's going to be certain people that can, that like the vision. And there might even be people in the future that just like what we're doing. Like, hey, I just want to support like financially. Like, how do I do this? And I just felt like if nothing else, like it helps me sleep better at night. It's like, man, we're doing something that means something to people, not just I'm only helping people that have the money. And for me, it's not just like a computer screen of like, hey, this is my niche that I'm trying to reach. I'm like, I know these people in real life. Like, I've been to the country, I've seen the people. Like, I know these people. Like, I know, like, if someone comes to Budapest, like, and we go out to eat or we go somewhere, like, I know the people, I know the owners, I know the workers. And so, me and my wife are like, we just want to be able to like help. I feel like that's the thing that we should do. So we should always keep it free, and then we should find another way to make money off the people that can afford it.
Absolutely. So your way in doing that at the moment then is it's a free community and then having tiers in the background. So you occasionally mention the tiers, I suppose, in the community.
Yeah, there's kind of like 3 or 4 ways I can break it down. So, first one I mentioned already, which is like merch. So my idea is like to have a brand. I only call it Undeterred Entrepreneurs because they added like the discovery, and they're like, hey, they're gonna have search SEO friendly keywords. But basically, the brand is Undeterred. So I'm like, if we can turn this into a brand, it'd be dope if we could just live off of the clothing sales. Like, and that's it. That's before you even get into like the real offers. Also, it's just like free branding. You know what I mean? It's like if you can get people to wear your stuff, I feel like if we can give people an identity, that's going to help us outgrow like a lot of the other stuff that's out there. So we have like merch that we sell. Doesn't do a lot. I guess I can share like the numbers just so like people can have
Only
context.
if you don't have to if you don't want to. Only if you want to.
I think it could be helpful because I think a lot of times people aren't necessarily open. But let's say we started in April, and I think I don't know exact numbers, but let's say every month I would say close to a couple $100 maybe like a month. So not a lot, but I know there's a lot of communities out there that aren't doing that just off of the main offer that they have. So I'm like, that's cool.
Exactly.
The next thing I started thinking about, okay, we have this free group, and like I said before, I just made it about like people. And the thing I hear on school is like, well, if you do that, why are people going to pay? Because not specific, is not blah, blah, blah. So what I learned that I think is like, if you have a community that's about a topic and a niche, so you could say, this is just for chess players or for people that love books. As you're around these people, you're going to learn like what they want. So that becomes the offer that's more specific.
Absolutely.
So people started asking me all these questions about how we're growing our community and these things. So I was like, okay, maybe this is a path that we can niche down into. So in the beginning, I was like, what if we just did calls? Like, and you could just ask your questions. Would you want to ask me, or do you want to ask a group of us? So if you're like, I would love a group. So I was like, okay, we created a mastermind. And in the beginning, I did pay what you want. So I just literally let people pay whatever they want. And like some people were paying thousands, some people were paying $10, some like whatever. It's like all over the place. But it was cool because people were like, it was weird. Like it was one of the first times in my life where people were thankful like to pay us. It was weird versus like,
Crazy.
you get on a sales call and like you're overcoming the objections and they still feel like weird about joining. People are like, yo, thank you for like letting me join. So I think you're kind of giving them an opportunity. So right now that's around, I would say about like 2K ish like per month, like in this time. And obviously we didn't have it the whole time. So this is like in the past couple months.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that's awesome.
and then, so then I realized, okay, we have this mastermind and this is like inching towards like higher ticket like prices now because we started having some like minimums as we started growing. So it's like there's certain things that I keep saying over and over again, either in the mastermind or in the community. And I think this would be perfect for like courses because you can just package the knowledge. And then even if you're in the mastermind or the free community, I can say, hey, I made a course on how to get members. I made a course on increasing engagement. I made a course on monetizing. I did all these stuff. So all the live calls, all of the courses, all of like the stuff that's just not like networking and hanging out. I was like, okay, we're just going to put that in premium. I started at $9 a month, and then every 10 people we increased it to by 10. So right now we're at like 29. So we have like almost 30 people in there, and then that what Tears was like I think like a month ago or something like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you've grown it quite quickly.
And then something we just added was I was like, people want my one-on-one help, and so I was offering a call every week. So it was like one-on-one support, one call a week. And then I asked myself again this question, like, what if? I was like, what if we didn't do a call and you just could voice message me anytime you needed something?
Okay.
Then I don't have to block off my calendar, neither do you. And you don't have to wait to ask me something. Because what if there's something going on in your community? You want to ask me, the call's Friday, it's Monday. I was like, we're wasting time. And then if I answer your question on Monday, well, we have a call on Friday and we only talk for 5 minutes, you're going to feel like you're wasting money. But if we can just talk all day whenever, then you can, if I answer the question in 5 minutes, you feel like, dang, I'm getting my money
Yeah.
worth. So people like that idea. So I'm offering that as like a one-on-one thing. I think a lot of people could do that. Like we use this app called Signal. So like just have your mastermind members or your hiring clients like just, hey, you can reach out to me whenever you want
I
outside
love
of
that.
school. So you know I'm going to see it. And we can just talk there. So basically, merch, mastermind, premium tier, no VIP tier. I guess I could make the mastermind that if I wanted to. School payouts just take too long for me for that when it's like a
It
bigger
is a
amount of
long
money.
time, isn't it? Yeah, they do make you wait.
And then, yeah, this one on one thing. So those are all the things that I'm doing. We're testing something right now called Sales Saturday, where like internally we only sell on Saturday. And
Okay,
so the point of that, I only let members in on Monday. So I only let
sure.
members in 1 day of the week. We only sell 1 day out of the week. So let's say I didn't do anything on those 2 days, right? Or if I didn't do anything else on those 2 days. So at least 5 days out of the week, out of the 7. The idea is that you're spending 5 days making your products actually good and or building community.
Yeah.
And I felt like what I saw everyone else doing was they're selling 7 days out of the week and trying to get new people. And then when you get in there, it's not that good, or the service that you paid for is not that good. So they end up being like up here, like everyone knows them, they have a lot of marketing, they have a lot of
That's an
leads,
excellent
but the
idea.
rest isn't that good. And if they turn this off, everything else like dries up.
So are you saying that Monday to Friday, basically, you're just doing more of the community service type things, offering advice, conversations and in the community, but you have a specific day to let people in, which is the Monday, which I like.
Yeah,
And on the Saturday, did you say that's the only time when you're maybe, I don't like to use the word pitch, but you
exactly.
are
Yes, yeah.
you are basically offering your services on a Saturday. So it's only one day that you do that out the whole week. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, like if you message me and you're like, bro, what's the mastermind? I'm not gonna like wait till Saturday. I'll answer those questions. But my idea was like, I was like, I think a lot of us like our stuff is not as good as we like to believe, and like no one's telling us this, right? It's like just charge 4K. People have the money, overcome the obstacles, and I'm like, that definitely works, but for how long though? And I think like again, I like to look at like brands I really like, Apple, let's say Versace, Louis Vuitton, Tesla. Like they've created a really good product, or like they don't even really have to market it if they don't want to. Like we talk about it for them.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
was like, that is something where you could just chill and like, yeah, you're not going to make as much money as if you're running ads, but you're still going to make a lot of money. And I
100%.
was like, I want to focus a lot of my time, like just getting really, really good at like what we do. And that takes time. And if you're just on sales calls every day, all day, if you're just posting Instagram videos and YouTube videos all day, every day, like it's really hard to make your product better. And the reason we're doing all of this is to make more money. Like a lot of the times, or make bigger impact or grow your brand. So I was like, what's a good way to do that? Well, if we make it really, really good, people are going to hopefully get really good results, which then they're going to want to talk about it. And that's the cycle that I want to have. Like I want to get more people wearing clothes. That way more people buy clothes. I want to get more people results. That way more people want to join. So it's just something I'm testing, but it's interesting how we started doing that. And on Saturdays, like you just see like people joining. It's just like cool. It's
Oh,
like
really?
because you've built a relationship with them like over the week.
I
And
love
then the
that.
people that I don't pitch to, they don't even know that we sell stuff. So it just feels like, yo, this is a dope community to be a part of. So it's
Do
something
you
I'm
think?
still fine tuning. Obviously it's not perfect, but it's just something I'm like, I want it to, I want it to actually be like really, really good. I don't want people to just be like, yo, D's making this much money. I want people to be like, yo, this Undeterred is dope. Like what the products they have are really good.
So what do you do then? Do you put out posts or are you recording videos in the community about your products? How do you do it? I know it's new, but how do you do that on a Saturday?
I'm
Is it
gonna
a full collection of posts that you do on that day, or is it all day? Or
I'm gonna check something just really quickly, just because I want to. I want to like add a little, make sure I get this right.
yeah, sure.
So there's this guy that I was talking to earlier today. I just want to make sure I get his name right. Adam Smith. Yeah, I was about to say. I just want to make sure. Adam Smith. Shout out to him. He has a very unique business that he did, which was helping people franchise a business, like a brick and mortar business,
Yeah,
right? And he was doing this via like VSLs. So I guess he would help them create a VSL. You'd run ads to it, and then like I guess people that I'm not sure exactly how this part works, but that's how he was running his business. So we're on a call today, and I was showing him what I was doing, and he mixed it with some of what he was doing, and I think we came up with a really cool system. So I'll just, instead of saying this is what I was doing, this is what he was doing, this is what mix, I'll just
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
say
yeah.
like this is what it is. So I recorded a video, basically like a VSL, that explains the offers that I want people in. Right now, I'm only focusing on like premium because I feel like it's like a ladder, right? Like you go from free to premium, and then you can just personally talk to those people if they want to be one-on-one members or whatever. Like you're gonna know. So right now, I'm just focusing on like, hey, I want to get more free people into premium. So I recorded a video that explains what it is. I posted this video in the community. Anyone can see it. Anyone can comment on it. I can tag anyone. I pinned that video into the classroom and the Start Here, so people can naturally go to Start Here and see it. It says like about the mastermind, right? People that get good this is about like premium, right? So it's like in premium. Sorry, I said the wrong thing. So people that get good results with premium, I do an interview with them, and then I pin their post into the classroom. So the way that looks is like, here's how to upgrade to premium. There's a video that's about like premium, and then underneath that is the like testimonials, right? Does that make sense? So like someone can see all that stuff.
Yeah.
So what I was doing before is I would just go on Saturday to the post that talks about the offer, premium, mastermind, whatever. And I'd be like, yo, Des, what do you think about like joining us? Or hey, like we've been talking this week, like what do you think? And then sometimes people are joining. One thing Adam was saying was like, yo, instead of just tagging people in the post, because sometimes people are nervous about talking about it openly. Let's say if you want to be like, nah, bro, like I don't have the money right now. Are you going to comment that on a post? Maybe not. No. So you might just ghost. Because like if you're just DMing people, it can be more personal for you to open up a conversation. So just on Saturdays, you say, hey, yo, what do you think about joining? They might say, well, what is it? And then you can send them the post, and then you can have a conversation with it. So it's basically just having some resource that talks about what you're doing. I like to have it in the community because then people can have conversations under it. Everyone can see it. Getting some testimonials and then putting all that in the classroom so people can see what it is and everything else. And then I think just like having conversations with people about it. It's like super laid back. So a lot of people that have joined, it's just been from that. I'm like, what are your thoughts? Because like I'm talking to them throughout the week, and I'm like, hey, what do you think about just joining premium, or sometimes joining the mastermind? Or if people have seen the videos and then they just reach out to me like, hey, I saw this video. What do you think? So
are you sending this to people that you've kind of had a conversation with and you feel that they're ready to get to?
Only those. Only out to everybody. Yeah. So we pretty much have like a list. There's two things that we do. Obviously, like looking at the leaderboard, you can see who's active.
Yep.
The issue for that with us is like almost everyone that's on the leaderboard has bought already. So it's like it's dope. So
that's a problem. Yeah.
But for people that's a really good indicator. Like look at those people because they like your community. The other thing is we have a Trello list of like people that says like upgrade to mastermind, upgrade to whatever it is that you want people to upgrade. This list is not names of people that are in that thing. It's people that you want to be in there. So we're basically building it based on who we would like to have in there, not just like, oh, let's make money off everyone type of thing.
Absolutely.
And why I think that's better is because when you're just trying to reach everyone, you're spending 2 seconds on this person, this person, this person, this person, versus like, imagine if you only needed one client to pay your like bills for a whole year. Like just keep taking that one person out to dinner, right? Like again and again and again and again and again. So it allows us to really focus on like, hey, let's just keep talking to these same people like over and over again, get to know their needs, get to know what they want. And then I think a lot of the stuff that people want to do but don't because they don't see how it connects to the money, like you can do it. So like right now, like me and you can be on a podcast, but then tomorrow we could just get lunch. We don't even need to talk about business. No. Then we could just hop on a Zoom call. We could talk about clothing. We could talk about whatever. Like we're building relationship.
Absolutely.
And then 2 Saturdays later, whatever, if you want to ask that person something, it doesn't come across as like salesy. You're just having a conversation. And I think a lot of people, that's really is their personality. Like I just want to I built this community because I like these people. I like hanging around these people. Now I need to make money, and everyone that's telling me how to make money doesn't care about community. They just care about money. And so they're just telling me to do all this like tactics. And then you're like, but I never actually get to appreciate the community that I actually wanted in the first place. I'm just selling all the time. And I didn't want to do that. So I was like, how can we do this in a way it just feels more authentic, I guess, to our personality.
I like the idea that you come up with because the thing is, it means that you're giving back pretty much 6 days of the week. and the only time you're mentioning things like your branding, your clothing, the products that you're selling within the community, you're only doing that 1 day a week. So in essence, you're 6 days a week are giving out a lot of value. Not that you're not on the Saturday, but you're just using that day as the day to promote your extra things that you're actually selling. And I love that.
One thing I did to even offset that even more is, and I think everyone can implement this in their own way, is I said, okay, I'm doing this. Why don't I just let everyone else do this too? And make it fun. So like I just said, hey, on Saturdays, everyone in here just post what you're selling. So now it's like not even does it feel like we're pitching to you. It's like we're letting you pitch to us. So, but then the people that I end up talking to, then yeah, like they were mentioning the offer, but it's like everyone else is like, yo, just mention your stuff. Like there's a guy that messaged me on Sunday or Monday, like he commented about like his book. I thought it was dope, so I just pinned it, and he's like, yo, I got some sales. So it's like he's not even in any paying thing, but it's like you made money off the community. So I think a lot of people could even think about that, where it's like, okay, maybe you don't have to say like pitch your offer because not everyone's doing that. But let's say I'm just going to come up with the first example that comes off the top of my head. Maybe it's like you have a community where you're for dogs, right? For dog owners, and the thing that you're charging people for is like tricks, like you're teaching them how to train the dog and stuff. Maybe you could just do a post on Saturday where it's like, hey, show a trick that you recently taught your dog, or like a video, or show off your dog, or whatever. So it's like they have a chance to like promote the thing that they're trying to get better at. Hey, post your YouTube, because usually it's like unacceptable to do these types of things all the time. So it's like promo Saturday or whatever, right? So it's like, hey, post your YouTube video or whatever it is that you want. So I think now like other people can have fun, but then behind the scenes you're like, okay, all these people that are active, I'm about to hit them up and see if they want to like participate in what we're doing. So
Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I mean, we've taken this. We've gone from of when you started way back in the time in April. You've grown it to an absolute brilliant community. One thing I wanted to actually ask you before we actually close this call and this video. I've heard this from other members as well. So this is not from you, by the way. This is members that I've spoken to. I think Tracy Poe. I think
Tracy's dope. Yeah.
Yeah, she's obviously very, very present in your community. She said something very interesting to me, and I've not heard this anywhere else, is the fact that you like connecting members together. So, and even when we got on the call the other day where you just did the live call out of the blue, you were asking if I'd met, I can't remember the guy's name, whether I'd met him before and whether we connected. I absolutely love that. Can you explain your decision making and why you do that in your community?
Yeah, man, a lot of the stuff that I do is based. I think of it as I think of it as if we didn't have online, like in person, right? And again, I've lived in a lot of countries. I've experienced a lot of other cultures. So whenever you get on a call and I'm talking to someone, I don't see it as you're getting on a call. I think of the times like almost probably everyone has been at a party, and I've experienced this when it's like in different languages, so it's like super uncomfortable. You're at a party, like you're with your friend or something like this, or like you come with your friend but you don't know anyone, and then they just start talking, and then you're just standing there, and it's like mad weird, like when no one like is like, hey, do you know this person, or then you can like join the conversation and you feel better. Like most people that I see, like they're just so locked in on like what they're doing, they're not thinking about the other person. And like whenever I'm like out and about, I'm noticing that I'm like, yo, this person right now is like uncomfortable. Like they're just sitting there, like, or I know like, yo, this person has a lot that they can bring to this conversation. Let's just let them talk. So, I think I had to let go of like the ego of like you have to be like the center of attention, because I think some people are so like, oh, I'm just trying to be heard that I'm not even going to think about that. But I realized like that means a lot to the people. I try to do that in person too. Like if I'm with someone, and yo, do you know this person? Hey, have you connected with this person? Like. It means a lot to them, and also you never know like where those connections are gonna go for them. But also, I think as a community, like one of my friends here in Budapest has a sign. He owns a co-working space, and over the door, it's a little old. The sign is a little old, but it says like Forbes top 3 co-working spaces in the world, or something like this. And then when I told him what I was doing, he was like, "You want to build this in a way that it doesn't revolve around you." Or else, like, you're always going to be busy, bro. He's like, I did that in the beginning. And he's like, now I have a team, and, like, they should be going to them for questions. Yep. They should be hanging out. They should be meeting for dinner together. Like, I shouldn't have to always be the center. So I've tried to think about like that, like, and I think also like you should feel welcome like in this community. Like you shouldn't get on a call and it's like, oh, I'm just sitting here. Like you should be like, oh, I'm part of the conversation. Like even if I just say like, yo, Tracy, what's up? But then we continue the conversation. Like I want to acknowledge people, you know. So I don't know. I don't see people doing that enough in other communities, and there's people that aren't vocal or that aren't like superstars or whatever, that they kind of just end up sitting around, you know. And I was like, nah, bro, like that's not the vibe. Like everybody should be able to speak and talk.
Absolutely. Well, look, last question. I'd like to ask, if you had to do it all again, what would you do? And I do normally ask that, but I want to ask something different to you, actually. I would say if you were starting out again, what would you advise someone that's starting now, for example? Because obviously there's a lot of time that's passed between April and today. A lot of things have changed in the Skool community. So a new person that's actually come to the platform, they've just started a new community. What's the one thing that you would actually advise them to do or recommend that they do?
First thing I would say is focus on the people. I think a lot of people focus on the money. I think focus on the people. Second thing I would say is I met this guy. It's so funny. I had this hoodie on, and then this guy had this. I was on like this rooftop bar. He's like, "Yo, I like your hoodie." And I was like, "Thanks." So then he was like, "Yo, what do you do? Like, why are you in Budapest?" So I was like telling him, and I was like, "What about you?" And he said, "Oh, I'm into hospitality." And I said, "Well, what kind?" And he's like, like development and stuff like that. I was like, "Oh, like what does that mean?" And he told me, and I was like, "Oh, like what do you mean?" And then he like leaned in, and he's like, "Oh, like I own the place like that we're at now." So I was like, "Oh, wow, that's crazy." And they own like him and like their group, they own like 6 hotels and like Hiltons and all these things.
Oh.
And so I got to know him pretty good, and I started asking him about like his business and his mindset around it. And he's like, "Bro, I might not make money for like 3 or 5 years, bro." Like, you know what I mean? He's like you're investing in it and you're putting in the work, and you're just having the faith that it's going to pay off. Yeah. And I was like, man, a lot of people online are like, you have to make money in 30 or 90 days, or they're thinking that they're a failure. Like I started this community, I must make money now. And he's like, bro, that just doesn't really exist in like real businesses. Like obviously in online, you have the opportunity to make it faster. But to answer your question, I think it's just like patience. And I've been blessed to have been connected with like Sam Ovens early, and Ryan Duncan and Goose and Ryan Calvin Hollywood and all these guys. And like, yeah. I'm fortunate that like, a lot of them gave me that advice early on. It wasn't like, yo, start charging money now or do this thing. They're like, bro, just keep doing what you're doing and have patience. Like, don't look at the money that we're making and think that you have to do that right now. Like, that's not where you're at. Like, the reason we're doing what we're doing now is 1 year of work, 2 years of work, 10 years of work.
That is awesome advice. I love
that. I'm
always like that advice. I don't know, but I think that's awesome advice.
I was like, bro, you guys don't know how like much I appreciate that, because you could have told me like, bro, you got to start doing this. Like, what? Like, you're only making this much. Like right now, like you got to do this. Like, go make more. But it's almost always been like, bro, you're on the right track, and if you keep doing that, in a year, you're gonna really like what happened. Not like, yo, if you do this in a week. It's like, just keep doing what you're doing, making relationships, building your community. And once you have that brand, once you have that community, once you have that trust, like it's going to be so much easier. But you have to do that like every day for like a year. Absolutely. And I think a lot of people, they're not hearing that because people want to sell them stuff. And when they want to sell them stuff, they don't want to make it seem like it's hard. Like no one wants to hear like, become my personal trainer, or hire me as your trainer, and in 2 years you're gonna look good. Like no one wants to hear that. They just want, you're gonna have abs in 60 days or less. So I think like that, I didn't know that going into it, so I was like kind of stressing in the beginning, like, man, I gotta grow this quick, I have to make money. But I think once I've kind of slowed down and relaxed, like it's like, okay, this is a business. Like it's not just, if you start a cafe, it's not 30, 90 days, bro. So it's like, just slow down, get yourself on the right track, and like just know, like if this is a brand you really believe in, like you're probably going to still be doing it in 3 to 5 years. So don't try to rush it. Most of your competitors are going to give up. So just keep going.
That is so good, mate. Thank you so much. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add. If there isn't, Thank you so much for being on this. I really appreciate it. This is a new channel. You didn't have to do this. A new channel with very few subscribers and very few views, but you're one of the first people I chose to bring on here because I knew you had a lot to offer. So I really appreciate that.
Nah, I appreciate you asking me, bro.
Yeah, no, seriously, man. And we haven't even known each other that long, and there's a lot of respect for you. Where can people find you, Dee? Obviously, I gave you a little. I told you it was the Undeterred Entrepreneurs on Skool, but is there anywhere else they can find you?
Man, you gotta. If you know, you know. Now it'd be crazy. That'd be insane. Nah, if you're looking for like a website, you can go to undeterredco.com. So undeterredco.com. That takes you to the school. Or like if you're in school, like just search like my name. You can search like Dee Greene and Schoolers. Instagram, I think is Dee Greene. Yeah, it's just Dee Greene on Instagram. Those are like the main ways.
Excellent. I appreciate that. Dee, thank you so much. And yeah, we shall see you in the community.
Thanks, bro.
Take care.